here on the certain clip you want to import, like that. And then here in your source monitor, you are going to be able to kind of like skim through it before you would even import it, right? And if I only want to import a certain part of this video or audio onto my timeline, I can come to the part where I want the clip to begin, for example here, press I on my keyboard, and then I'm going to scroll to where I want it to end, for example here. I'm going to press O on my keyboard. I can click here and drag and drop it onto my timeline. And now instead of importing the whole, long clip to my timeline, I just imported that exact part that I want to have in there. Now, next up, let's kind of go over some of the main parts of Premiere Pro so you get a little bit more familiar with the software interface. First up, you have your sequence right here. This is going to be where you're doing the majority of your editing, and you can zoom in and out on this sequence by either dragging this little thing here or even using your touchpad, or even pressing Command or Control if you are on Windows, and the plus and minus keys on your keyboard. This is where you are able to, drag clips, edit them, add different text and so on. So do the majority of your editing work. Next up, right next to it, you have some of the most essential tools that you are going to be able to use again for editing. Then here on the left, you will have, your project library, your effects, info, different libraries, and so on. Obviously, these can all depend in terms of where they are based on the exact workspace you are in, which, like I said, you can access by coming here to the top and then selecting the certain workspace. The next super important part is your playback area, which is this. So if I press spacebar on my keyboard, I can start the playback, and if I stop the playback, then I can just press spacebar again. You can also scroll through that here. You can select what playback resolution you want to have and so on. And the next part, which you're going to be using a lot, is effect controls right here, which is where you're going to be able to set some of the most important parameters of your clips and also adjust your effects that you add onto it later on and so on. All right, now let's do a little bit of an overview of some of the most essential tools that you are going to use. So number one is the select tool, which you can access by coming here or pressing A on your keyboard. In this case, you can also set custom shortcuts if you want for every single thing by coming up here to the top, clicking on keyboard shortcuts and setting it up for yourself right here. All right, so with this, you can move things around, you can go and click on it, change different settings. So this is kind of like your regular mouse cursor on your computer. Next up, this is also a super often used tool. If I make this video track one a bit bigger by dragging it out, if I press, in this case, C on my keyboard, or I come here to the razor tool, this is also something you are going to use a lot. So with this, you can basically make cuts to your videos. So if I click here, you can see it cut it into two separate parts, right? So for example, if I want to cut out this middle part here, I can just come back to my selection tool, click on that, delete it. If I want to get rid of this dark space that it left here, this blank space, I can select that and click delete again. And you can see I was able to cut out that middle part from my clip just like that. If you want to, get rid of this part, for example, and not have to, manually come here and then delete this blank space, but instead just delete this clip that is between these two other clips with just one click, then you can select that, press Shift and delete, and then you are doing what is called a ripple delete, which basically gets rid of the space in between at the same time. All right, next up, I want to show you how to speed up or slow down your different clips. So to do that, you want to select a certain clip, you want to change the speed settings off, then right click on it, and then you want to come here all the way down to speed/duration, and you are going to be able to set your speed percentage here. So for example, if I want to slow down this clip, right, I can put 50% here. If you want to, you can also reverse your clip here, by the way. But yeah, let's say I just want 50% now. I'm gonna press OK, and then you can see it's now in nice slow motion. And the same thing goes for speeding up your clip. You just come here to speed/duration and make it, let's say, 300%, and you can see now it's super fast. Alright, next up I want to show you